Okay. Sorry, friends. There was a technical resource wasn't there, so I had to do some live streaming stuff. Okay. So we are all good. Thank you, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the friends who have joined across the globe, and also the people who have joined on our YouTube PMCUSA channel. Thank you very much. So, friends, we are on day 16 of this 21-day joyful meditation program. As we have been discussing, before entering into the subject, let's give our great pranamams to our Grandmaster, Brahma Shri Pitama Patriji, for showing this wonderful path, my dear friends. So, yeah, as we have been discussing, friends, we have learned a lot over a period. So, hopefully, you are all following with me on all the subjects what we have been touching upon. We are not spending too much time in detail, but we are touching upon various topics so that it will throw some light on what are all knowledge is available outside, and based on our interest we can go pursue that specific topics is what the intention is. But at least we need to understand from a very high level what this whole human body is about, and what is the history behind, where is that we are coming from, what is that we are doing in our day-to-day life, what is that we are planning to achieve. So to give a little bit of clarity on this the entire picture, we are trying to cover various aspects. So we have divided the whole things into three different major parts. One is studying about the mind, and the studying about the soul, and this week we started studying about the body. So friends, yesterday we discussed about the 7 layers or 7 dimensions of a human body, wherein we talked about the physical level, the etheric body, where the energy sources are tied up, and then we talked about the emotional. So let me open up that presentation again so that it becomes easier. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, hope you are able to see the screen. So this is what we discussed yesterday about, friends. There are 7 layers of the body, where the physical is the topmost what we see, but there are other levels, wherein the etheric body, the emotional, the mental, causal, spiritual, and the divine. And the amount of awareness you have against each of this body is where your whole aura is built, and that is what will protect you from all your negative forces, my dear friends. So that's why our awareness has to spread across all these bodies, is what we talked about yesterday. Okay. And then we talked about this program, what is coming up. So I think I've shared this on our WhatsApp group. So please register as soon as possible, because this course is starting from Monday. So again, it's a free event, so you can all go and register. Okay, so today is the topic what we are planning to discuss about the chakras, my dear friend. So we have probably heard in various other ways what about the chakras, or in Telugu, if you say, there is tamogunam, rajogunam, and things like that, right? So there are names of different kinds, but here let's talk about what these chakras is about and how does that impact our day-to-day life, my friends. This is directly proportional. All these chakras, what we discussed today, I'm not sure if we'll be able to cover the entire all chakras today, but we'll see what all we could, and then probably we'll take it into our next session. But we'll very high level, we'll understand what is the functionality again. In all our sessions, this is what we are understanding, friends, the functionality, the science behind, so that it gives us very good idea of the functionality of that particular feature, so that we can understand it better and help enhance our meditation. For all this is to enhance our meditation and to reach to the higher dimensions of that planes, of that various bodies, my friends. Okay, so how these chakras have an impact is what we'll understand. This is all again the spiritual science, my dear friends. So you will not read it in our biology classes or physical classes, because here we are talking about energy, right? How the energy system is built up and how it is performed, right? So that's why I don't think this is covered in any of the materialistic subjects. I'm not sure why, but these play a very major role in our characteristics or in our behavior, what we perform in our day-to-day activities, my dear friends, right? So these are the chakras. We are talking about 7 chakras here, but this is all again lying in our etheric body, and all these 7 chakras are lying on our spinal cord, my dear friends. From, you know, the spinal cord goes from the spine to the top. So these chakras lie in that area. And what is the function of this is these perform like a transformers, my dear friends. So how is that electricity generated? When it comes, there is a transformer, and what does the transformer do? It transforms that high electricity and sends it to the sub-regions, to the amount what it needs, right? So that transformer are very crucial. Otherwise, the high power what you're receiving from a thermal power project or somewhere, if it directly comes to our tube light, right, it cannot withstand, right? So they need some kind of these junctions wherein it can receive and transforms and sends it to the areas where it needs the it requirements, right? So that just not push everything directly to the endpoint. So these are kind of a transformers. So these chakras also perform in the same manner as how a transformer does. So all the energy what you get, so these transformers will take it and supply to the various areas, and depending on the source of energy and depending on the energy available, it can provide you, right? So say suppose, for example, back home, if you see, there are so many power cuts because there is shortage of power which comes to the transformer, so it cannot give it to the endpoints. So they do power cuts and say, okay, you will not have power for next 3 hours. So you'll have to live with it, right? Without power for 3 hours. Because this is all based on the demand and supply. How much is the supply and how much it can give it. So similarly, these transformers, what it can do is it takes up the source energy and transforms and provide it to the endpoints, right? But if there is no source energy, these transformers cannot do anything. So always the energy should be sourced, and then these transformers will work in a manner based on what it can give, where it can give, right? Depending on the energy, right? So we'll try to understand what is the significance of each chakra, and what happens if there is. So always we need to try to balance the energies, my dear friends, exactly as how transformer does, right? It balances. It will not sends the output as much as it needs, right? Or it sends only as much as it needs and just not send it everything through, right? Exactly, these chakras also do the same activity, saying how much is needed, where is controlled through these chakras. So it has to have a balance, not excess or not deficient. So if if it is in a balanced nature, how the total functionality of this chakra would perform, and what happens if there is an excess energy which is happening, what will be the behavior of this chakra, and if it is deficient, what will be the behavior of the chakra, is what we are going to understand for each of these chakras, my dear friends. That's what we are talking today. So why we are calling it as 101 is, for anything basics, if you wanted to understand, it is called 101. I don't know if that is an IT term, but so that's why I call this as chakra 101, because we are trying to understand the basic functionalities of the chakras and how does it perform, if it is balanced manner, and if it has a deficiency, or if it is an excess. So that's what we are going to understand. Okay, friends. So let's go try to again, we'll go from bottom up. So we'll understand what this root chakra is and this sacral chakra, like that. We'll understand each one of it. Okay. So probably we'll cover 3 or 4 today. Rest we'll cover in some other class, but let's go. So the first chakra is called root chakra, my dear friends. The Sanskrit name for this is Mooladhara. So hope you have read these terms various ways, but let's try to understand the functionality of this, what it does in our human body, in that energetic system. How does this play a major role? So this again, so where does this locate? It is on the base of the spine. From there, it starts from base and then it goes up like that. That's 7 chakras. It is not that the energy fills up from bottom up, right? So each of the chakra might have a little bit of energy, but may not have sufficient energy, or it might have excess energy. But what we need to ensure is to have balance across all the chakras. That is when you will be able to reach to those dimensions of those bodies, right? That's how they are interrelated. But let's understand the functionality of each chakra by itself, right? So it is located in the base of the spine, and it impacts the parts of the body, my dear friends. It impacts all the lower body, like from the spine, the end of the spine to the bottom from there, right? So which means all your legs, all your thighs, all that parts of the body are directly impacted with this energy of this chakra, my dear friends. Okay. So what happens if there is a balanced energy, right? On this chakra, if it is balanced, what it means is it is independent and self-sufficient, right? So this chakra, if it is balanced, what it means is you are not worried about you're sufficient from your roti kapda makan, what you say, right? Your day-to-day living, you are sufficient. So there is no struggle for that if there is balanced energy on this, right? And you would have trust in life because you have all these basic things. So you have trust, right? And you are well disciplined. You have self-care practices. You are always grounded, right? Because this energy is balanced. Even though you achieve something, you are always grounded. You are very soft spoken, soft natured. You are always feeling safe. There is no any financial difficulties or anything like that. You are a little bit settled in your life with your basic requirements. So that's what this chakra, if it is balanced, that is how your characteristics would be. What happens if it is excess, right? So that's what we are trying to understand. Each chakra, if it is not balanced, if it is excess, how would each of our behavior be, right? So then if it is excess, you will resist if you are resisting any changes in your life. You are always likes only the routine things. If there is something coming in your life as a change, you would not accept immediately, right? So that is what happens. So what do you realize by this? If you are having that kind of a mentality, which means you are having excess in that kind of a chakra, which needs to be balanced. That's where you can work on, and you can bring the chakra into balance. So that is why all this is, we should understand the functionality what happens if it is higher, what happens if it is lower, and why it needs to be balanced, my dear friends. Okay. So you will have this overeating problem, the obesity, right? So you have strict boundaries because you are not accepting a change. You build your own boundary and you say that this is what I want to be in. Uh, so you are a little afraid of going beyond that boundary, things like that, right? So that's what that excess energy means. So what happens if it is deficit? So deficit meaning if it is, then your characteristics would be like you are fearful, restless, anxious, right? You do not have focus or discipline to perform things. You randomly do things. You randomly you are not organized at all, right? You have kind of a financial difficulty even for your basic stuff. So if all these things are happening, which means your this root chakra or Mooladhara is less in the energy, my dear friends. So if you are of that kind of a nature, what we need to do immediately is get into meditation and focus more on that root chakra so that your energy can be focused into that and that can be come into balanced level. So how this energy is working is basically wherever your focus is, that's where the energy travels, right? So say suppose if you are doing nothing, mean you do not have any focus, you just wanted to receive energy, it will receive and fill wherever it needs to be. But if you want to improve on any of your qualities exclusively, then you need to focus there. Then your energy will drive and say, okay, this is what the intention is and let's go fill it up. It will go fill. Otherwise, it will fill based on the energy what is coming in. It will take its own route and that particular transformer will distribute it, right? So that's how if you want to improve on any of these deficit energy fields, then you focus on that particular chakra and increase your energies to come to a balanced manner, right? So that's what this is. So what is the theme of this chakra is I exist. I am there, right? I exist because I have this life, I have the food, shelter, and all this, and I do not have any problems. That's all it is worried about. There is no other intention in life. There is no other expectation from life because that is what this chakra is aimed at. Okay. And there is a color theme and all this. So this forms as a red. So if you are more inclined to red colors, then you are or you are seeing any red color in your meditation, which means your energy is flowing into this particular chakra. That's why you see that kind of a red color. Or when you are liking any red color shirts or dresses or cars, then which means you are very strong from the root chakra perspective. That is what it showcases. Okay, friends. So that's what is about root chakra. Let's go to the next one is called sacral chakra, which is the Sanskrit name for this is again Swadhisthana, right? So this again is from the belly and the pelvic area. That is where it is little above from the root chakra and lower abdomen. That's where this parts of the body it belongs to. Right. So what happens if it has a balanced energy at this level of a chakra, which means you are able to read like your own emotions, like feelings. You have healthy sense of this sexual and emotional boundaries. You know how to balance all this. Not always inclined for sexual activities, but you know how to balance. Right. You have even balanced approach to your enjoyment in life, right? That's what this balance chakra is, right? The same thing if you are excess on this chakra, which means you are oversensitive. You will overreact or you are over emotional. You will easily somebody will be able to emotionally affect you, right? So that is kind of a person you will be if this chakra is in excess. And You will also not be able to form your own boundaries. You're always dependent on somebody, right? And you are pleasure addict, right? Your cravings, your addictions. When you have all these kinds of habits, which means your sacral chakra or swadhisthana is little bit of excessive. So which means you need to balance it. Again, you will focus in your meditation to take away some of the energy from the sacral and give it to some other chakra where it needs. So that's how all the balancing. So because when you are focusing on that pelvic area, that is where the energy you can change. Because when you are in that energy field, my dear friends, everything is in your control, right? When you feel that you are this body, which means nothing is in your control. But when you go to that energy field, that's what it's happening in meditation. When you go to that thoughtless stage, you are entering into that energy field, which means the total etheric body is visible to you, and you'll be able to physically move things around, or you can move those energies just by being into that thoughtless stage, right? So that's how it works, that energy movements. Okay, for that you'll have to come to that thoughtless stage. Only then all this is possible. That's why meditation is required, because see, there is so much of science what happens behind, my dear friends. Okay. So what happens if it is deficit? Then your lack of feelings, there is no desire, there is no passion on anything, there is no feelings, there is no feeling against each other, or there is no feeling against any animals, nothing. There is no passion at all on anything, right? You do not mingle with any of your socially well, because you want to be like a reserved kind of a person, because you cannot share your feelings, or you cannot express your feelings, because your lack of energy in this particular chakra, right? You have again diminished sexual feelings. It should always be in a balanced approach, my dear friends. It should not be over, or it should not be lower. Only then you'll be able to enjoy the benefits of that chakra, right? If it is over or if it is excess, then you cannot enjoy to the fullest of what that chakra can perform, right? So the theme for this is it feeling, because this is all related to how you can share your feelings. That's what the theme is. Again, this is an yellow color. If you are saying yellow colors as in any of your meditations, which mean you are throwing or you are flowing your energies to this particular chakra. Okay, let's move on. Next one is the solar plexus, Manipura. So solar plexus also you would have heard in some other forums also, because this is a little bit of famous chakra of all, because solar plexus, this is related to your stomach. That's where that location is, and it reaches to your liver, bladder, and your stomach area, right? So if you have any problems with your liver or your kidney stones, if anything like that, which means you are deficient, or you are not balanced on this particular chakra. So that's where we need to focus and bring our energies. So what happens if it is balanced? You'll have very good willpower and stamina, right? What is willpower? When you wanted to do something, or you wanted to take any resolutions, right? You will be able to take that resolutions and put it in action also, because you have strong willpower, right? And you have the ability to transform your ideas into realities because of your willpower, right? You will be able to accept challenges, right? All these type of things, if you are doing already, which means your solar plexus is in balanced condition, my dear friends. Okay. So what happens if it is excess? Then which means you are in a dominating nature. You wanted to control everything. You are very aggressive, right? you want to be like a center of attraction, right? And you think that you are right always, and you wanted to have the last word in any of the discussions, right? You will be easily judging everybody whether they are superior to you or inferior to you. So those are all not good practices, my dear friends, right? Because judging itself is wastage of energy. There is so much of energy loss in judging somebody. Everybody has equal capabilities depending on their awareness. So they are in different levels, right? So we cannot say if people who are doing their elementary school that they are lower in nature. No, they are in the status of learning that elementary education. Slowly they'll come into middle class education, then they'll come to graduation. Then, so it is not necessary that everybody will fall into your graduation straight away, right? They'll have to cross all these levels. So people who are in the elementary thing, they are not wrong. They are perfectly fine in their situation. So there is no kind of judging, right? So we could, when you understand the concept of all these 7 layers of the body, we should understand, okay, they are in that particular stage, and they are perfectly doing fine because they are of that type, right? So we don't have to judge. So once they have the awareness over the other dimensions, then they'll get to know that, right? So there's nothing wrong. So that's why there is no point of judging anybody whether they're superior or inferior. So if you have that kind of a nature, which means you have excess energy on the solar plexus, so we need to get into balance, my dear friends. Okay. So what happens if it is now deficiency? So you'll always blame others, and you will avoid taking any responsibilities, right? You want to always play it safe. You do not want to take any challenges, right? You wanted to please people on different things, right? And you will, for to do that, to please people, you will always manipulate things because you wanted to please them, right? So that's what will happen if this chakra is in the deficient energy. So if you wanted to correct it, if you wanted to be in a balanced manner, what you should do, you should increase your energies, come into a balanced mode, so that you will be able to have those kind of characteristics. If you are fine having deficiency, that's fine too. Only if you wanted to improve and come to a balanced state, then this is what action you have to perform. Okay. So this again theme is I create, because you have the capabilities of creating realities, right? You can convert your ideas into realities. That's why you have the capabilities of creating new things. That's why the theme is I create. Okay. So let's take one more chakra and then we'll go on to meditation, my dear friends, because we are already getting late. What is the next one? Okay, heart chakra. This is again an important chakra where this is all related to love and acceptance, right? So as it belongs to the center of the body where heart is. So this Sanskrit name for this is anahata, right? So what happens if it is in the balanced nature? Then you have we talked about this, right? Your self-acceptance and self-love, the importance of it, right? You should always be able to accept yourself first as how you are, and then how you can love yourself. You should not be harsh on yourself, my dear friends. So only if you love yourself, that's when you can pass on love, right? It is you cannot hurt yourself and you cannot pass love to others. So you'll have to love yourself first so that you can pass on love to others. So if the balanced energy, then you have healthy relationships. You always be in the forgiveness and compassion mode. Compassion just not with human beings, compassion with with animal kingdom, compassion with the plant kingdom, compassion with mineral kingdom. So you will have the compassion across all, right? So and your love is not conditional. You'll not love only based on certain conditions. Okay, if it is like this, I love, otherwise no, right? Your love should always be unconditional, and that unconditional can come only if your heart chakra is in balanced condition, my dear friends. Okay. So what happens if it is excessive? This chakra also can go excessive, right? So then it is more demanding. You are possessive in nature. You are clinging always to certain things. You are not letting go, right? And you feel jealous, or you will sacrifice, right? Either of it. So when you do all these things, which means you have excess energy, and if you wanted to correct yourself, you wanted to bring it to balance, right? And what happens if it is deficient? You are again reserved. You never forgive, or you are not open yourself. You are reserved in nature, right? Or since you are reserved, you will always be lonely or isolated, right? You cannot mingle with anybody because you are totally reserved. So that's what the deficiency is. And if you wanted to improve, you'll have to improve the energy here to come into a balanced state, right? Again, the theme would be like loving, because the whole concept of heart is in loving nature, my dear friends. And the color on this is green. So if you are seeing any green colors or liking for green, which means you are very strong from the heart perspective. So this is how all these chakras perform, my dear friends. Each chakra has its own functionalities, and we need to have enough energies to move these energies up and down, right? If it is deficient, if there is not enough energy there, then you cannot move around, right? It will be total stagnant. So you cannot improve any of your qualities. So that's why when you do meditation, you have more source of energy which comes in. Then you can play around saying, okay, I wanted to improve this particular quality. Then you will be able to shift and change. Otherwise, you will not get an opportunity to change, or you will not get an understanding to change, because there is lack of energy, right? So the rest of the three chakras we'll try to understand in some other session, friends. Let's open up quickly for some questions if there are any. If not, we'll go on to meditation. So there is a question here. Can someone be deficient and excess at the same time? No. So either they are efficient or at the same time, it's not possible. But when over a period of time, say suppose during a month, right? In the first 15 days, they might behave in certain way. In the next 15 days, it might, because during that period, they would have done something with their energy levels, and then they might pass the other chakra energies to this. So they could be a possibility. But at a given point of time, either the chakra is in a balanced mode, or in the deficiency mode, or in the excess mode. It cannot be at the same time in various modes, right? Because that is where your characteristics are building. So to change a character from A to B, there should be some work which has to be done, right? To improve or to transfer, to move. So you take some kind of a resolution, you take some kind of a change in your day-to-day activities to make that change, right? So there is some time involved to make that shift. So you cannot appear in both the places at given period. Okay. Hope that got clarified. All chakras at the same time. If you have enough energy, then you'll be able to balance all of them. But for that, you'll have to have huge amount of energy wherein you'll be able to balance all of it. Yes, in one sitting, if you are an experienced meditator or a matured soul from that nature, if you are a matured soul, then you'll be able to balance all the chakras at the same time, because you have enough maturity about the whole understanding, about the whole science, about the whole involvement, and you have the capabilities of sourcing greater amount of energies, then you'll be able to balance all of them at the same time. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's get on to meditation, friends. Let's get a room as dark as possible. We'll take out our glasses. We don't need at this point. We'll sit in a comfortable position, either on the floor or on the sofa. If you're on a sofa, you'll cross your legs, you'll clasp your fingers, and close your eyes, my dear friends. Let's relax our entire body from head to the toe, starting with the place between our eyebrows. Let's relax them. Let's relax our neck area, shoulders, your back, upper back, lower back. You can lean your back, but please do not lean your head. Relax your thighs, legs, and toes, my dear friends. Hands and wrists too. Let's observe our breath, my dear friends, which is natural breathing. There is no force required of any kind. Tender and tranquil breath, my dear friends. We do not need any of the family members at this time. No husband, no wife, no kids at this point, my dear friends. Just you and your breath. No godly images also at this point. No Rama, Krishna, Buddha or Jesus. Let's play some soft music and we'll try to get on to our energy system, my dear friends. Let's try to focus our breathing to either of these chakras, root chakra, let's get on to the root chakra initially, my dear friends. That's the base chakra, which even the infant souls have some energy at this level, so they know that they are here to do their living. Let's play some soft music. Let's get on to that thoughtless stage first, my dear friends. Without reaching there, we cannot source extra energy. You just have to find that space between those thoughts. Once we are in that energy field, we will then be able to guide that energy to go into that specific chakras. We just have to focus on to the spot of the root chakra, which is the start of the spinal cord, my dear friends. When you put your focus there, then that energy can be flown into that particular chakra. So this whole etheric body has at least about hundreds or thousands of chakras across the whole etheric layer, my dear friends. But these 7 are the major chakras. So like major transforming stations, power stations. And then there will be substations for each particular region, right? Like that. These 7 are the major stations. And there are small chakras, rest of the places of the body. But we are focusing only on the main power stations. If you go to YouTube, you can find various videos just focusing on that particular chakra and helping you to guide to improve or balance that particular chakra, my dear friends. There are also various courses available to balance all the chakras in one session also. So there are various types of sessions available. But today we are just trying to understand at a very high level. Again, friends, this is just to make us understand how the energy flow works. There are two ways to look at it. If we do not have to worry of any of these, we don't have to look at in detail. We just have to meditate and increase energy levels. So wherever it has to get balanced, wherever it has to get filled up, the body has the capabilities. The etheric body has the capabilities to manage on its own. This knowledge is needed only if we wanted to improve on particular characteristics of our own self. Then we need to understand where it has to be done, where what needs to be done, and things like that, right? So it is like driving a car, my dear friends. If you are driving a car, you do not need to know how that engine works, how the gas is pumped onto this energy through this engine, on how it all is making the car run. You don't have to understand. You just have to understand on how to drive, right? You should know the rules of the driving and how the car is to be driven, right? Only if there is some repair to that car, and if you wanted to repair yourself, only then you need to understand the entire uh, the the engineering behind that engine. Same thing here, my dear friends. We just have to know the technique of how we can source energy. That is what this meditation is about. To learn the technique of sourcing energy. Now, what happens if that energy is sourced? It automatically knows to balance itself. It is only in the cases where you wanted to do an improvement on certain things, then you need to know the science behind it. Exactly as how we explained in the example of the car. Just be with your breath, my dear friends. We will have to get on to that energy field. Final 2 minutes, my dear friends. Just enjoy that moment. See if you're able to focus on that root chakra. Final 1 minute, my dear friends. Just try to remember any of the experiences you have felt at that time. Slowly get back to your physical senses. Feel your body, my dear friends. Feel your hands, feel your legs. Do not open your eyes yet. Final 30 seconds. Final 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. You can now, okay friends, you can now slowly place both your hands on your eyes and let all that energy go back into your eyes for 5 seconds, my dear friends. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. When ready, just take out your hands and open your eyes with that energetic and smiling face, my dear friends. Take your time. Give a big clap, friends, for that wonderful effort. Though it was short, it was energetic, is what I felt. If anybody want to share any questions, anything, please feel free. Any questions on the subject? Thank you, Nirjagaru. Yes, friends. So, friends, tomorrow is a guest speaker who is coming. And again, he's a special guest from Bangalore, my dear friends. So do not miss one very good session, which is likely to happen. So it will be 9:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, and 7 a.m. India time. So it will be a beautiful session tomorrow. So do not miss. Okay, so there is a question. Let's see. So used to bringing awareness to third eye. So trying bring awareness to solar plexus, but it keeps coming back to third eye chakra. Why? Yeah. So what is happening is the natural ability of your that etheric body to move the energy to wherever it is supposed to happen naturally, right? So which when you wanted to focus and bring that energy to some other place, which means you need much more energy than what naturally it is happening, which means you should have more control so that to take that natural thing and move. So so you'll build up that kind of a control only when you have more energy levels, my dear, if you can understand that, because you are taking that capability from the natural happening to your own happening. So it is not just that easy, right? So we need to have that extra capabilities to take that natural method and move around. But the possibility of moving around is there. But to achieve that, we need to increase our flow of energy levels much more to make that change. Okay. Hope you understood that. So say suppose you have little bit of a knowledge on doing repair for the car, right? But with that knowledge, you cannot go attend and repair it because you have only little knowledge, right? You'll have to go to the specialist to do, or you should gain more knowledge to repair so that you can do it yourself, right? Exactly that logic what applies here. You need to enhance your energy capabilities to do it yourself. Otherwise, natural happening, it will, because now it is going to your third eye. So that is the natural happening. But if you want to move around, you need to specialize in that. I want to able to manipulate the energy travel to different chakras. We'll keep trying. Yes. So the basic idea here is we need to understand that is possibility, right? But to achieve that, we need to learn more and come to a stage where we'll be able to do it ourselves. But definitely it's possible. So that's how there are also a lot of comments saying, right, you can heal all your diseases because most of, not 99.99% diseases are all emotional based, and that can be cleansed very easily through this energy flow. But for that to happen, you need to specialize in that kind of sourcing of energy much more to do all those cleansing. Like say suppose if you have a small fever, you might take a small tablet to get rid, right? But if you want to get rid of a cancer, the treatment itself is totally different on how you can treat cancer, right? Exactly the same thing. If you have small problems, you need small effort. If you have big problems, you need more effort to do that kind of a cleansing. So, but all of that is possible, right? That's what we need to understand. Everything is possible. Everything is in our hands. We'll be able to cleanse to whatever it takes, but we need to spend time with ourselves that much more to specialize in that manner. Okay. I was in deep meditation and didn't even realize the Zoom ended and hence didn't leave meeting. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's what happens when we get off into that that emptiness. We do not know what's happening, but I usually close up the. If I end the meeting, the meeting will end for everybody. So you don't have to worry. Being in that state is important for us. So if you are in that state, enjoy that moment. So that's why I do not force everybody to talk, because they will be in that mode of that enjoyment, and I do not want to disturb. But it will be nice that if you're able to come out and discuss and talk, it will be nice. But I leave it to your choice always. Okay, so friends, please do not miss tomorrow's session. Very nice session. Different master coming and talking to us. So let's attend and take good wisdom and meditation from that great master. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. If there are no more questions, have a good night, friends. We'll meet again tomorrow, same time, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, 7 a.m. India time.